A little wobbly there. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Collector YouTube. So, been having quite a few questions. I got some emails and then talked to some people, and it looks like everybody wants to even though there's a lot of videos. I mean, I got a lot of my upgrades and that kind of stuff, but based off other videos. I watched so many videos. I would give credit to one particular one, but I took a combination of multiple videos because that's kind of the requirement to get to where I'm at now. Anyway, so we're gonna do a two-parter. This is gonna be just the free upgrades because that's all I've really done. But with the exception of the diff caps, everything I've done on here has been free. You'll see that mine's taken apart. Motor's missing. My motor burnt out. Unfortunately, right before I got a chance to do all this, that's why it took me a little bit longer to get this video out. But yeah, let's get right into it. So, and yes, I have a soldier holding my tire. First thing we'll do is I'm gonna go over just basically what I've done, and then I'll tell you out of like, so we've done modifications and upgrades with Deadbolts, the Jeep, and then even now you saw the unboxing of the Chevy. We've actually did some great things with that I would highly recommend if you get that Chevy or the gray one or the other truck. But I would, there's, yeah, anyway, in the videos you'll see my other videos, you'll see all the other stuff that you can kind of see. Some things have been done, servo's been changed, diff caps. I think even with the white Jeep, you probably maybe saw the wheel weights in there. All that particular vehicle has been all store-bought upgrades. Kind of expensive, and with, we know, everybody knows now, with the SCX24s, parts are very hard to come by, and they're everybody's back ordered. So you got people putting barrage motors in these, which they can work. A little bit of finagle and you can do it. I believe it or not, I was bored. I put this in there. Laugh all you want, but the sound this thing creates is like as if I turned the Jeep into a diesel. So it sucked as far as performance. It moved. You have to keep it on 100% power. And it still doesn't go as fast as the 50% power of the original motor. And you know why. Everybody knows about this motor. It's garbage. It was literally an experiment. Not only that, but I couldn't fit it in there, so I had to hot glue it. So anyway, I'm digressing. So let's do this. Okay, let's do the tires first. Tires are normal. What I've done, so these are the back tires. I don't know if you can see that. You know, let's see if that helps. So you can see here, you can see, get that in focus. You can see my wheel weights. Those are actually what you see back here, and I'll show you here in a sec. They are smashed pellets, and I used hollow points because they are 7.9 grams each, and I get a total of 17 grams per tire. This is the free version. If you have pellets, yeah, it sucks. You also see that I have a little piece of plastic in there. I actually use the covering of just a simple wire because I need something that would be totally flattened and not make my wheel all wobbly. And these are just for the back tires. I did not do the same extension piece for the front tires because if you notice, the front tires are actually extended out further than the back tires out of the box. So I just equaled them out. So didn't need them in the front, just put them in the back. The weights, you should put weights in your tires. Simple as that. If you can get the bead locked or the those other tires, the what do you call them? I think it's one of the sites. I'm not going to mention sites because I'm not plugging anybody right now, but you can get metal and aluminum rims and stuff. So anyway, so there's that one. Front tires, you'll see. Let's retire. Front tire, hard to see. You can see there's the weights in there. It's very hard to see. But yeah, I do have weights in there. Like I said, 17 grams per tire, giving me, I think it's 0.62 pounds, so a little over half a pound. And it operates great. My motor never got hot. The motor, I put a lot of hours in that motor playing, and months now. I'm literally playing with this thing every day. So my motor was going to burn out and never got hot. So never had a heating problem, never had any of that. It's just the motor just got overused. And I know some people were like, oh, it's because you put more weight on there, probably burned it out. No, we were testing it. We tested the power and everything with it. It was great. Everything was working great. Anyway, so that's the tires, diff cover. I'm gonna have to say every one of these that you buy the diff covers, buy the brass diff cover, aluminum, whatever you can get. This will make the biggest difference and most noticeable thing on your car. You'll love it. I guarantee it. You'll pick it up. You'll feel better about it. It's an equal balance, and you want the back and front. Don't just get the front. I know a lot of people want the front heavy, but when you go to tip, you're gonna whoop every time. So avoid that. Just make it evil or evil. Make it equal. Yeah. So the other next thing is, and you'll see mine's a little Jimmy rigged funny. So yeah, it's because of the servo I had. I put in a right here. Let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah, Tower Pro MG90 and 90S. This is a robotics thing. You're not going to find this in the RC world as an RC part. You're going to find this in robotics. And just know that there's hundreds of variations of servos that go towards robotics. And it's one of the biggest and most used hardware in robotics. It's what makes things move. It's what makes things move. So broaden your horizon a little bit and look into robotic stuff too, and you'll find that you can find other compatible things. And granted, I had to mess with this a little bit. You can see it's a little bit longer. The original servo, which I don't have that anymore. I think I finally got rid of that. The original servo was way smaller. This is all metal gear, way more power. You can see how I placed it in there. There's a really big B in here, so if you hear it, I apologize. Actually, I had to stop. I had a huge honeybee come into the my workspace here, and I had to chase him out. Make sure you can go make some more honey. So again, you'll see that I had to put a little bit of spacer. I just use a double. I just use Velcro. It filled the space perfectly. You can see that the servo, this actually right here, needs to go up one more hole. And the only reason why I couldn't is because this is, again, robotic servo. That is the most standard hole right there, and it's slightly bigger than the screw, even though the screw fits into the rest of them. So you can see it has no effect. It has literally done no effect. It's great. Servo's been great. The wire's longer, so you have to kind of wrap it a little bit more. But yeah, it works great. So that was definitely a thing. So then the next step, or next thing you could do, so the servo is, if you have a servo, that would be that's the free upgrade. If you have one. If you don't, then they're cheap. They're super cheap because they're smaller servos, so it's great. And servos are cheap anyway. The again, so the pellets, the piece of wire, these are things you can use at home. That's why I call them free. These aren't, you don't go to the store to buy them. The other thing that we did, which is an awesome free upgrade, now with the Deadbolt, there's a step we did not have to do. Deadbolt provides, if you look, let's see what side this. So you can see my shocks originally were mounted here, and now they're mounted here. And yeah, so, and then I had to do the same thing on the front, because originally what I did is I did that, but I was like, oh, there's no hole here. I can't replace. So with this one, this is just one of the mounts that holds the rear, well, I guess rear body mount. And so I just took that screw out and just put that screw in, and that way it still holds the mount and raises or lowers my wheel. And then we had to do the same thing in the front. Unfortunately, you have to drill a hole through that. Deadbolt, you don't. There is a hole there, that same setup as it is for the back. They have the same setup for the front, so you don't have to drill any holes, which is awesome. And because I just didn't have the bit small enough, I did have to hot glue it a little bit in there. But I haven't had any problems. I've run this thing 100 times already with that. I've dropped it a lot. It's fallen a lot. So what that does, if you can see it, and if you're looking at yours, if you have one, do you see how closer and how much raised up my center is? And that's the whole reason why I do it. It raises it up, so it gives that beefier look, and it raises your center. And if you know, every time you go to crest over something, or rock or whatever, it bottoms out in the center, right? So that just got rid of that. And that's really what that does. It shortens your wheelbase just so small, but raises that center more than enough than what you need to be capable of. And that's why you do that. It gives you that higher lift too. I mean, it just overall makes it look beefier. But those, so I mean, as far as free upgrades, that's really all you're going to get out of it. I mean, and again, I guess you can't really call them free though. I guess the free one would be moving your shocks. Obviously the dips, you have to buy those. There's nothing you could do to add weight to that unless you literally take a weight and put it glued on top of your diff. But other than that, yeah, the diff covers. So I would recommend wheel weights, whether you do the free or buy the actual brass wheel weight itself. The brass wheel weight's only 9 grams. Again, these are 17 grams a tire. Where you're only gonna get 9 grams out of the wheel weights. It looks better. You can see the brass, even though brass on, I don't know, been better if it was chrome personally, or at least silver. Anyway, so I would definitely do wheel weights, and I would definitely do diff caps. Everything else, not necessary. If you want to lift it and do that you will see a big difference in that. You'll get a better performance out of these little things, because that's what's cool about these. It really entertains all ages. I mean, little kids are great because it's a small vehicle, great learning tool to get better with maybe the bigger ones, even though it's a completely different class of its own when you're climbing, because you're not going to climb these big rocks that, the 1/10ths are going to climb. You're going to climb little tiny rocks. Your courses are half the size, or a quarter of the size. But they entertain people that are my age or older or younger. It doesn't matter. It just entertains everybody. It's got everything that a 1/10th, in a 1/24 scale size. And I think these things are amazing. I have a lot of fun with them, whether they're out on the trail or in my backyard or inside my house. It doesn't matter. That you can play with them everywhere. That's why these things are so cool. That's why they're so popular. And yeah, so that's pretty much the upgrades I've done. Waiting for a new motor. I might get too impatient, and I might actually go the barrage route and put a barrage motor in there. But other than that, I mean, the whole goal for me was that I could take all this off and put it all back to stock when I want to go put it away. And that's where I wanted to go with mine. I didn't want to do anything that would mess this stuff up. And by the way, it's real quickly here. Like, again, these are the pellets that I'm using. I'm a big airsoft and BB pellet gun kind of guy, so I have a lot of this stuff. So again, you're not gonna be able to see that. Maybe you are. So again, I used hollow point. This is what I used. And what I do is I just smash them flat, not super flat, just a little flat, just to make sure that they don't rub. It can stay consistent. I have 9 in each tire. I have no wobble at all. It runs great. You can see in the videos that I've run it. I've had the weighted tires since the beginning of I started doing the videos of this thing. Yeah, and I've messed around. I've got other little bodies that I've kind of made for it. I'm working on this one right now. I haven't quite figured out what I'm gonna do with it yet, but it fits. It'll look cool. Yeah, it'll look cool. But anyway, so yeah, this will be part 1, and we'll make sure to get part 2 right away. And part 2, I think we'll go over the store-bought upgrades. Maybe I'll be a little bit more direct. And then we'll also go over the some of the upgrades, the amazing upgrades that we did with the Chevy. I can tell you right now, my cousin's one that bought that one. My cousin and I and my brother, my younger brother, we all kind of worked together on our little RC world. But we joined a group, Pacific Northwest RC, and that's been an amazing experience with that group. And they're good people, and if you're in the Pacific Northwest, I highly recommend getting into that group if you're an RC enthusiast. They a lot of cool ideas, and other YouTubers, which is cool. So but again, so with the Chevy, what we did is that my cousin, he went ahead and purchased the extended axles, and went ahead and put bigger tires on it, because with the new Chevy, you'll see that the sorry, I should probably move my hands around so you have something to look at, right? With the Chevy, you'll see that the wheels are smaller. So we took the wheels off one of the Jeeps, put it on there with the extended. The truck is amazing. It handles better. It's wider. It's beefier looking. It looks like as if that's the truck you're taking out to 4x in a real situation. And yeah, they're amazing. It's one of the things I'll have to show you too, is something we found about the Chevy too that has something to do with all this, and we'll show you in that video. Yeah, thanks for watching, and sorry if I talk a lot, but I just want to make sure to get this information out there and let people know. If you have any questions or any of that kind of stuff about what I'm doing or what other people have done, I've talked to quite a few people. Everybody's got their own stuff, and again, this is just one car. I have multiple cars, but right now this is the one I'm going to focus on because it's the one I'm playing with currently. So looking forward to the summer, get to meet more people. So yeah, have a great day, and enjoy the outside, and if it ain't broken, you're not playing with it.